What is up, YouTube? So as you can see, I do a terrible job at keeping everyone up to date, but this is my 69 step side. We obviously took the cab and the bed off, and here is half the kit that I got from CCP. This is the Grand Slam. Basically, you get disc brake conversion, front and rear coils, shocks, spindles, 2-inch drop spindles, calipers, your dust shields, master cylinder with brake booster, all your tire rods, inner, outer, upper, lower ball joints, basically everything for your suspension kit. So that's kind of what we've been working on. We're taking this cab up to my buddy's place. We're going to do some body work on it in a few months for like the winter project. But yeah, this is where we stand here with this. It's a little dark outside because this project went later. But I do have a stick light. So as you can see, we put a new cross member in, and you had to take the factory rivets out with grind them down, use an air hammer. The old one comes out, so all the old stuff is over here. Old cross member, old trailing arms, and coils. And this is a 4-inch lowering kit. So there are the new springs. I didn't have the shocks yet installed. We have the tubular trailing arms, new cross member, new hardware for that. Honestly, it went in super easy. Most of the frame's done. There's a few things I have to do yet. I gotta order the cross member and then grind and air hammer that out for my new cross member for it'll fit an MV3500 or a T56 transmission. Most of the frame has been coated and redone with port 15. There's still some stuff I have to do with that. I need to order the new panhard bar, which I'm getting one of those I didn't order yet, and a front sway bar as well. And then we're going to knock that rail out there. That's for your spare tire. That's where we're eventually our fuel tank's going to go, because this is going to be an LS swapped 69 step side. So yeah, it's pretty it's really not that difficult. Like I said, you grind these rivet heads off, and then you go down with your air hammer with a punch bit on it, and you basically punch the rivets out. Once the rivets are punched out, you can remove the old one, hammer the new one in, and then you got some side to side movement sometimes to get it to line up. And this is designed for when lowering your vehicle, it doesn't mess with the factory pinion angle, because on your factory one, how those ears are up for those trailing arm mounts, on the factory one they're actually down. So this helps out with the pinion angle. It also has holes for your e-brake there, and then those are for exhaust. 3-inch, you can run up to 3-inch exhaust through those. So you don't have to worry about looping the exhaust down and under anymore. You can run the 3-inch exhaust straight through. So all in all, it was not that difficult to do. Obviously dealing with rusted stuff and the disassembly is the hardest part. It comes with all new spring saddles, hardware for that, hardware up top. So it's a very nice kit. And like I said, you don't need crazy amount of tools. Now I did put some of my tools away, a ball joint press. That Chief air hammer works really good. I did have a smaller Chief air hammer. I would suggest that you buy the bigger Chief air hammer from Harbor Freight, because the small one, the bit kind of got stuck in it. Anyway, what did I do with it? I knew where I put it, because I'm completely unorganized right now. But yeah, here's one of the shocks that comes with it, the kit as well. They're not adjustable like my Mustang shocks are fully adjustable. These are not, but it is a really nice kit. It comes with everything you need. The only thing it doesn't come with is the shock bolts for the rear, unless they just forgot to put it in mine. Mine did not come with the shock bolts, so I have to pick some up tomorrow. It does come with the sleeves, depending what your truck you have. And then for the front shocks, it also comes with the top bolts that go through the frame. Yeah, it comes with your tie rod sleeves here, inner outer tie rod ends, ball joints. Like I said, the spindles are super nice. Master cylinder and brake booster is nice. Your front shocks, front coils, dust covers, calipers. It even comes with all your bearings and everything like that. So that's the update. We're going to do some body work on the cab, fix some of the rust because it does have a lot of rust on it. My buddy's much better with rust repair than I am. And yeah, essentially, hopefully next year we'll get the LS in it. I'm taking that rear cross member out because that's where my fuel tank's going for the LS. And yeah, I'm hoping in another 2 years I'll kind of keep you along with the updates on this. Most of these videos don't get a lot of views. My side-by-side videos do everything like that, and I got to get a custom drive shaft made for it to fit the NV3500, which is this transmission back here. And we can do the swap with the external slave cylinder or the internal slave cylinder. I might run up to the yard and see if I can find one with an internal as well. They're a little bit easier to swap than the external to the 5.3 or 6.0s, but yeah, everything wasn't that bad. Yeah, that's the original Chief air hammer I had to do the Mustang. You probably want the black one that's more of a snap-on copy. It's a lot more heavier duty and it's easier to change the bit top, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. I got this kit off of CJ Pony Parts. They also sell them on Classic Industry. I'm sure they sell them at other places too. It wasn't bad. Shipping got here, nothing was damaged. My only complaint is it didn't come with the full shock hardware. I don't know if it was they forgot to put it in or it just doesn't come in or they want you to reuse your factory shock hardware, but mine was obviously severely rusted. So that's the update on the 69 step side. So this is a 4-inch lowering kit. It's 2-inch drop spindles, 2-inch on the front, so it's 4, and then 4-inch in the back. You don't need a C notch with this one. This does go up to 5-inch. I didn't want to lower it 5-inch because almost every other suspension kit you see after 4 inches, when you go to 5-inch, they use C notch for the frame. So I stuck with 4. I don't need a super slam truck. I think the stance will look nice. So yeah, again, this is CPP Grand Slam kit. You can get a 5-lug or 6-lug. I went with 6-lug because I wanted to keep the factory rims because this is going to literally just be patinaed for now. Eventually I will do the different step sides on the for the fenders. They're not bad now, but eventually they're going to need to get replaced, and then we'll do a kind of our own spray patina look to kind of match the truck. So that is the long-term plan eventually, but for right now they're not terrible, so we're gonna just put it back together, put that patina saver on it, and fix some of the rust and stuff like that up in the bed. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this kit turned out. Everything went together really easily. Nothing really fought us. Everything we needed was here so far to do the kit. All new hardware for the cross member, and again, the difference between thicknesses between the cross member put in the factory is it's much more beefier cross member. So if you have a 69 step side, I think this fits like 67 through 72. I can't remember, but this kit does fit a multitude of C10 trucks. So yeah, that's just a little up-to-date video on the C10. Like I said, some people view my car videos, more people view the side-by-side stuff, but it's good information. It's very straightforward. It's not hard. Don't let the rivets scare you away or pulling stuff off the frame. It's literally you take a grinder with a cutting wheel, cut the tops off, and then an air hammer, and you can usually punch them out. Sometimes they'll fight you because there is an extra piece of metal underneath on that frame, and it's just a frame stiffening. So you got to punch it through 2 different pieces of metal. You can take the chisel bit and you can kind of start cutting it away a little bit, and then when you go back up to air hammer it with the punch, it will come out. So it's really not that bad. It was not that bad. Everything went together as it should. It hasn't been that bad of a kit. You don't need too many specialty tools besides the ball joint press tool and the air hammer and your bits. And you want to get, if you go to Harbor Freight, you want to get the expensive chief bits. You don't want to get the cheaper ones. I've seen other videos where the punch will actually start denting in on itself and not being a punch anymore. So you do want the more expensive bits, and you want the more expensive air hammer and a big enough compressor to be able to do what you need it to do. But all in all, it's not that bad. You might need a little heat. You know, if you have oxyacetylene, obviously it's better, but some of the bolts were seized depending how old your truck is and how long it sat. You're going to fight rust. So soak it in PB Blaster the day ahead of time, and then all of our stuff came off. You know, it wasn't too terrible, and this kit right now has been good. Everything fit, everything lined up. I have no complaints with anything besides the shock hardware for the bolts, but that's not a big deal. So if you have a C10 and you're looking to redo the entire suspension, this is why I got it, because now I know everything's new. Inner outer tie rod ends, ball joints. I have disc brakes up front. I have vacuum brakes now, the brand new master cylinder, brand new spindles, brand new bearings, brand new everything. So when I go to put the cab and the bed back on, I know everything underneath is new. Like I said, I'm going to add the sway bar and the panhard bar, and then a fuel tank, all new brake lines. So I know when the cab goes back on, everything underneath is all new. So, you know, I'll keep doing update videos as this goes. It'll kind of peter out after a little bit. Once we're done doing this, it'll kind of be at a standstill for a few months till we get this up to my buddy's shop to do some body work and welding and get the cab ready. And then in the spring, we'll do the fuel tank, put the cab back on, wiring harness, brake lines. Well, we'll do the brake lines before the cab, and then I'm getting a wiring harness to do, all new wiring in the truck, and then I'll go back up to the same buddy who does LS swaps, and we'll start working on the motor, and then that'll eventually go in. So I'll bring you along for the ride to let you know how this all goes. So till next time.